Good afternoon. September the 3rd, 2015. 2 days away from, well, actually college football kicks off tonight, but 2 days away from Saturday games in the fall ritual, I guess, of tailgating and having fun. Wondering if your team's going to make it or not. So I'm pretty excited about maybe this year we've come back to the football scene in the Southeastern Conference. It's been a long time. Okay, this morning, the E-mini, we had news that took the up. Draghi said it increased the size of their commitment from 25% to 33% buying paper in the ECB's QE program, and that news spiked us. Market came back down, found buying just below 50 where you would expect it. We were hoping to buy the 45, 47 area before the news hit. And we said we'd adjust after the news. So pretty round number at 50, as is the pretty round number at 75. We had a high volume number here at 73.5. And the market makes it up to 73.5. And that's where it stops. So actually you could have a resting limit sell against this high volume number is what we recommend when the news is out of the way. Somebody's going to take profits there, and the dynamic that drives that is that those that were wrong and have sweated it out are willing to lose commissions. Those that were right in the spill from 75 aren't going to lose commissions. So you'll have the most resting limit buys and limit sells against one tick inside that high volume number. Okay, I added the knob spread, not the knob spread, the E-mini T-note spread to the chart, and I think it gives us some insights into the market. So this bar right here came a bar after that peak. It holds you on the right side of the market. Right here you can see that this was probably at least 3 bars off the low, maybe 4. Market stopped about where it should have, right here on this little ledge. Kind of halfway in between that little congestion area. Starts back down. This turns on this bar right here. Pretty well holds you in the short all the way down till we get to this bar. So it's pretty good information when the inverse relationship works. It doesn't work all the time. If the Fed says, and usually when it doesn't work is that the Fed says something that they're going to raise interest rates, and both the financials, the treasuries, and indexes will go down off of that news. So that's the only caveat that I know of in it. And it usually works very well the first couple 3 hours of trading. So anyway, hopefully you all will be able to gain some benefit from that. Spent a lot of time thinking and looking about stuff that possibly could work. And as you well know, we like to follow the money. And the knob spread allows us to do that. And this inverse relationship, money coming out of the note market going into the E-mini, money coming out of the E-mini market going into the note market. I think it's going to be helpful. Okay, we got a seller at 75 plus. We've got a buyer at 1900 minus. Definitely a buyer below 60. And looks like we definitely have a seller above 90. So we got 90 on the top, 60 on the bottom, and 1900 and 1975 in the middle. Higher low, higher high. The screen says we can trade higher tomorrow. That said, we have a Newsday trade tomorrow, and the numbers, if they come out as forecast, say the Fed can raise interest rates. Looking for non-farm payroll, 223. Anything over 200,000 will allow the Fed to raise interest rates. Unemployment, 5.2, down a tenth, I believe. Private non-farm payrolls, plus 211. and hourly earnings, the default, plus 0.2, and average work week last month moved up to 34.6, and it's at 34.6 right now. So the focus will be non-farm payrolls, followed by the unemployment number right here. And if you know what those numbers are going to be, you've got tomorrow's trade in the bag. If the market were to close right here at 1950, we'd be trying to sell the 55, 57 area would be sell 1, and then the 63, 65 area for sell 2. On the buy side, 45, 47, and then our 35 to 40 for buy 2. But it is down to the news, and if you know the news, you have the trade. It is that simple on non-farm payroll days and FOMC announcement days, the two biggest news days of the month, and they almost always bring in lots of activity, lots of volatility. Makes it very easy for me to write up tomorrow morning. Don't waste a lot of time wondering about this or that. It's just how big will the number be, and will it allow the Fed to raise interest rates or not. Okay, looking at the 10-year note, kind of treading water here. We had a seller 12 to 16, and we had a buyer against the buck, which is what we figured this morning. And we put all this together, you're looking at a B. So trading range is what this comes up with. Early on, we guessed that we were going to close in the 12 area. And where did that number come from? I'll get it on the right page here. Right screen. There we go. Came out of this area right here. Oh, that's where we had it. We had an 11 to 15 sell this morning. The high is 17.5, and we'd hoped to buy 1s to 5s, and the low was 6. So got close, but didn't get there. So right now on the sell side, you'd be selling 15s to 19s. I think if we break out of today's highs, that the next place would be 27 to 31. Market could really move. On the buy side, we'd be buying 4 to 8, and then we'd be below the buck. We'd make it 25 to 29. Be interesting to see how the numbers are derived tomorrow. I don't think anybody believes the numbers anymore. But that doesn't stop us from trading them. We don't have to know who, we don't have to know why, we can just see that they are. And that's comforting if you think about it. One of the safety valves or escape clauses for all mutual fund or trust or money managers is that whatever their guidelines are for their particular fund is how they have to invest the money, like it or not, and they have to be so much invested come the end of the month into the holding period. So they really are frowned on being in cash. Got quite a bit of range to play with. Bottom of value is 4. This market really moves, so 1 to 5, buy 1. And buy 2 will make 21 to 25. You know, I see the shadow stats, and it's a piece of news out there, Jeff, and he's probably right. I don't know how they... You know, again, this long... look at zero hedge. You'd have been short since 2008, if you believe their stuff. So, I mean, I don't know how you use it. My feeling is that the true unemployment level is north of 10, And in the worst case scenario, some people paint it as at 20% plus. But I just know this by driving around and looking around that the economy is certainly stressed, and we don't have all the people working that they say are working. Yeah, that's true. But when you go back and look at it historically, if you have 300 million population, you'd expect, 150 million of them not to be working. So the workforce is always a little bit less. And out of that 300 million, if, half of that, 150 and half of that are 75 million females. So the 92 million people being out of work is higher than it's been. And when you look at what happened on the recession, we still don't have the total number of people employed that we had before the recession of 2008 and 2009. So all this stuff, the reason they can publish these numbers, they just aren't counting the people that have quit looking for work. So it's nobody believes the number that they put out. It's always interesting to me that they can take a course of action based on a lie, but that's the way they play the game. Lower high, lower low on gold. Sell it. Down to the news, though. And we talked about this earlier on the last update. 27 to 30 is sell 1. And then 33, 35 is sell 2. On the buy side, 19 to 21, buy 1. And then I'm going to make it 10 to 12 or buy 2. It is being sold. I'm sure it's large traders, central banks. I don't think the retail account is dumping their holdings. But, like Ted, so much of stuff that comes out of the government these days is just flat out propaganda, lies by omission, and outright lies. It's just, I think when you look back on it, how much of the second half of last century was based on a lie. They're just everywhere. Fortunately, we don't need to have the government speaking the truth to figure out what to do. Okay, crude's come back quite a bit, so this 48.50 area plus, we have a seller. As long as we stay above 43.5, that's $5. This market can hold the trading range. I think longer term it is a sell just because of the fundamentals, but F1 tells you to find a place to buy it. I think the better trade is to find a place to sell it, with failure to trade higher. And the last rotate up in M period was 46.82, so 47 and a quarter picks up this area right here, and 47.75, 48. I have no idea why crude traded as high as it did today, but it did. And fortunately, we don't have to know why. We can just see that it's happening and get on board. 46 and a quarter, buy 1. 45.50, 45 and a quarter, buy 2. And last but not least, the euro got whacked. There's probably another full point coming out of the euro. We've got support down here at 110. We're 111.28. So 110 being a round number is where I think we're headed. Lower high, lower low, sell it. When we have runs like this, based on Draghi's talk, we usually get follow through selling. So 1150 plus or minus 1, sell 2 given the volatility, 75 to the buck. On the buy side, 111 plus, I don't like that trade, 1075 buy 1, 1050 buy 2. And that's it for, what, September the 3rd. Time flies when you're having fun, right? Y'all have a great evening. Going to be pushing 96, 97 again today and tomorrow. Pretty hot for this time of year, well above normal, but it is still close enough to summer. These temperatures aren't out of the norm. Y'all have a great evening. I'll see you bright and early in the morning, and we got a big news day trade facing us tomorrow. Later.